Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's more surprising, that we had another photo finish in NASCAR or that the professor doesn't think that I'm mean. Come on, professor. Be nice. How you doing tonight? Another night taping. Wednesday night here. You good, professor? Wait a second, Trav. What is that?
You there? A little Jack and Coke.
We got late enough in the evening. We are past the brews. We are into the mixed drinks. Timms, you look pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Is this the start of your evening, or are you tapering off?
I took a little nap. I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling good, refreshed.
I can tell. There was a glow to your face.
I'm ready to go.
Wait, hold on, though. Are you going out afterwards, I think, is the important question.
No, but, like, it was raining all day, thunderstorms, and now it's sunny. It kind of juiced me up a little bit. Like, I need, like, a margarita or something. I might have to.
I have a feeling this right here, this fuse might get lit. My man, this is what happens right here. One straight text message come across the bow, and that guy is going out.
Yep, it could be.
Is he going out? One-legged duck swim in a circle? This man is going out. Everybody's in town for the Wells. Charlotte is a bustle.
It's nice, 80 degrees out. It's tough not to drink when it's 80.
Oof. Well, I hear you. Where should we start? Let's talk Kansas. Kansas, how is the predictor there, Professor?
5 of the top 6 were predicted top 10. Had the winner correct.
Whoa, back the F up. That sounded like IRS code. 5 of the top 6 finished in the top 10. What the hell does that just mean? 5 of the top 6 finished in the top 10. Can you please explain what math class that works?
5 of the top 10 finisher. 5 of the start over. X that out.
No, we're live. We're live to tape here. I want to know how this works. 5 of the top 6 finished in the top 10.
Finishers were predicted to finish in the top 10.
So you got 5 out of the 10 right.
No, there were some other ones in there, but I like that the first 5 of the first 6 were great. How do you not understand that?
I feel this is Ron Popeil, man. Set it and forget it. My man is like...
Hold on. How do you not understand that?
5 of the top 6 finished in the top 10.
Yes. No. 5 of the... So, of the predicted top 10 finishers, they finished in the top 6. 5 of them.
It's a lot of numbers.
God, I need another drink.
Let me say it another way.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's start over. To make it a little easier for you. So, Kyle Larson was predicted to finish first. Okay? He finished first.
Check.
Okay. Chris Buescher.
Okay, so for a layman like me, I'd have started with got the winner right. I don't know. That's what I'd start with. Hey, guess what, guys? Got the winner right.
Got the winner right. Hey, guess what? Got the winner right. We won again. 2 weeks in a row. We won.
Okay, so you got the winner right. Now let's talk about how'd you do in the top 3.
Well, Buescher, first ever top 5 on a mile and a half track. So,
fair. No one saw that coming, me included.
Then Chase Elliott was predicted to finish 6th. He was 3rd. And then Truex was supposed to finish 3rd. He was 4th. And then Denny.
So you had the winner dead on. You had Truex in the top 5. He finished top 5. Okay.
Yeah. And then Denny was predicted 2nd. He finished 5th.
Okay, so another way a guy like me would say this.
Go ahead.
Is, hey, guys, I had 3 of the top 5 predicted right, including the winner. I don't know. For the guy that talks on TV, I feel like, Timms, what's better for you? I had 3 of the top 5 correct, including the winner, or 5 of the top 10 came out of the top 6, something like that. I don't even know what he said.
Hey, if I could talk like you, then you wouldn't need me. I wouldn't need you.
Fact. No argument. If you could talk like me, you wouldn't need me, which is a problem. So, you know what, Russ? Either way, The predictor had a good day. You hit the winner. That's what mattered. Tim's, were you on the winner? I know you didn't get many odds on it. Did you get a little winner juice?
No. I played the since there was a rain delay and it was Cinco de Mayo, I had plans when the second half of the race was coming to drink some margaritas, so I missed it again. So
Cinco de Mayo is a good excuse. It's my favorite. It's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, mine too. I waited as long as I could. I waited. The rain did not help. So I think this rough patch is self-inflicted 100%. And fueled by margarita. So I can't really blame anybody but myself on this one.
Photo finish. Do we got to relive this photo finish? Do we have to clean up, Trav, with your other pod disassembled?
All of them. Yes.
Okay, so let's start with NASCAR timing and scoring on 101. This is going to take me 2 minutes and 2 minutes only. Ready? Go. 99% of the time, NASCAR uses a transponder and loops cut within the racetrack to do timing and scoring electronically. When the transponder passes over the loops, there are looped antennas in the racetrack, it scores the car. It scores not only at the start-finish, but throughout the lap, and that's how we use timing and scoring. That's how we use loops when a caution comes out. In 3 points of the race, all 3 times points are paid, which is the end of stage 1, the end of stage 2, and the end of the race, they will go to a camera finish. If the loops, because the loops, the margin of error for loops is basically a couple thousandths of a second, give or take. There's a lot of things that go into that. You don't need to know. All I'll tell you is if you start to get a bunch of cars in one spot or under like a couple thousandths of a second, they go to a camera. The camera, unbeknownst to everybody in the world, that you are not looking at a photo. Even though it says photo finish, I can see how it sounds a little bit weird. You're looking at an image. What's the difference? A photo is a singular shot from a camera. That's not what you're looking at. You're looking at this fancy, high-dollar system. The Olympics use it. Formula One uses it. Everybody says we need to get whatever the people have. Well, good luck. Find it. The Olympics use it. 100-yard dash. Kentucky Derby uses it. Formula One uses it. IndyCar uses it. NASCAR uses it. It's the same damn company. And what it does is, check this out, Tim. This is some crazy stuff. That camera's set up, calibrated every day. When a moving object touches the start-finish line, it takes a photo. 4,000 photos a second. And then what it does is the moment that Larson touches the start-finish line, then that's a timestamp. And the image you see are thousands of photos, slivers of photos put together to create an image. The reason why it's blurry is because the only thing it cares about is the car. It doesn't care about the track or the background. The only stuff that needs to be clear are things that are moving. That's why it looks like the way it looks. It's that simple. That's how it works. It would be clearer if it was in the day. It would be clearer if the camera was closer to the cars. But the camera has to pick up start-finish, the whole football field, because you could be like you could take the checkered on pit road. You could take the checkered backwards through the grass. Like there's a long ways to take the checkered. So when you zoom back a damn near 100 yards or a sculled 60-degree wedge in Russell's, terminology, things start to get a little blurry. Like that's what happens, right? You're damn 100 yards away. And by the way, they're not going 35 miles an hour. These aren't horses. These are cars, and they run 175. So that's what you get. So everybody that says they need a new camera or a better image, all of this stuff needs to jump on the Google and do a little research before you open your Yap. There you have it. Now, for the record, let me be clear. I had to jump on the Google and do a little research. I didn't know all that. This is the Monday research. I had to ask the smart people who know about it. This isn't something I knew off the back of my hand, right? Like this was a day's of research. But that's how it works. Any questions, Your Honor?
No question, but how'd you and McDowell doing, Letarte?
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I am going to applaud Michael McDowell. So we come on here and we give picks. That's our job. It's a gambling podcast. And I even said it in my pick of McDowell. I like Michael. I like the team. I know it's hard to believe. I like all the drivers. I don't have a favorite. I don't care. I don't care who wins. But I got to take the picks. Michael, A-plus move. Runs top 10. Doesn't complain about our pick during the week. Doesn't say anything about it. And then responds to it was Dirty Mo's post, right? Dirty Mo's post of the Michael McDowell pick. Responds with a very nice done graphic by his team. He finishes 10th. The other car finishes 14th. Our buddy Todd Gillen finishes 14th. I'm going to tell you that's A+. Like that is a great way I'm telling you to pound sand without even saying it. It was like a professional pound sand conversation. So much so I went to Twitter, which I'm not normally on Twitter, but you pointed it out to me, so I went in there and saw it. And I said exactly what I mean, which is, listen, I don't care about being right or wrong. I love to be proven wrong with somebody performing. Right? I think it's great. So A+ Michael McDowell. For the listeners who say, why don't we have Michael McDowell on the show? I'm going to make it real simple. This is a gambling podcast. So guess what? In the current world, it's hard to have competitors on a gambling podcast because that goes against the whole idea of the gambling. You know, the basketball player that says, hey, bet on me because I'm going to come out fake a sickness, and he got suspended. There are rules and restrictions to gambling content. We would have loved to have Michael McDowell on it, but we can't have Michael McDowell on it because he's a competitor. But the shot on Twitter was A+. And I earned it.
He's now, last year, he proved Denny wrong when Denny was talking about him, and he went out there and won at Indy. And now so Dirty Mo needs to be careful with Michael McDowell. But quickly, Steve, what do you make of the news, though, with McDowell leaving?
I saw that, going to the 71 Spire car.
What do you make of that?
You know, so one half of the news surprises me, the other half doesn't. So I'm going to start with the surprising side. The surprising side is him leaving front row. Been there a long time. They've built the place together. He had a lot to do with their success. He's very hands-on with hiring people, and, he's super plugged in. He's been a part of the Ford camp. You know, there's a lot of things that surprise me with him leaving. Not surprised, Spire continuing to pound that drum of growth and acquisitions, right? Spending that money. They're buying charters. They're hiring drivers. Their cars are up front. Hocevar's looking good. We talk about him on here all the time. Corey has more raw speed, looking for maybe a little bit of consistency, right? So the McDowell news doesn't surprise me from the Spire side. Does surprise that he's leaving. Does surprise that he's leaving the front row. What do you think, Professor? Is that pretty fair? You felt the same way about it?
No, you're spot on. Spot on.
So, but you know what wasn't a good week for? Celtics over-unders. Not a good week for Celtics over-unders. Not a good week for the what was the name of the bet, Tim's? The 2 hockey game bet. What was the name of it?
The Grand Salami?
The Grand Salami. On the book, it was listed Grand Salami. You could bet both hockey games under 11.5. They hung 14 on the board. That was not a great day.
I had the over in the first game, but I sat quietly in our group text knowing that you two were on the under and didn't.
Oh, I knew you had it. With your lack of talking, I knew you were on the other side.
But I didn't want to.
How about the Rick Allen? Do we want to talk about the Rick Allen?
Yeah.
It's not a Rick Allen.
Yes, you did.
Let's let the listeners be the judge. Go ahead,
Okay.
Travis. The floor is yours.
Tim's
But now
and
listen, if you bullshit or get the facts wrong.
Okay, so Tim's and I, we were on Florida Panthers plus 1.5 against the Bruins, correct?
-1.5.
-1.5, sorry. -1.5. And the game is 0-0, and I said, Tim's, we need goals. And the Panthers score a goal, and I say, here we go, or something to that effect, correct?
Yeah, I think it was here we go, or there's one.
Yeah, there we go, or there's one. That sounds right.
And then the Bruins go on and score 5 in a row, and we lose the bet. That's not a Rick Allen.
You see, you just said left it. We need goals, and not said a single thing after that.
I didn't.
As soon as you did, we got a goal, and then you said something else, and then boom, they never scored again.
I didn't declare victory on the bet, though.
It was a minor victory.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to say it's not a Rick Allen in the absolute definition, but it would have been. It's a written warning. It's not a Rick Allen ticket, but it's a written warning. You danced really close, like you don't do a field sobriety test on this one. You might have failed.
We got a goal. You got to have some good vibes. Get it going. We scored a goal. Let's go.
I know. I mean, I could see your argument, but I will tell you, it didn't read that way. It read that way, like there we go, like it's gonna happen.
Because they scored about 17 seconds after you sent the text. The Bruins did to tie it, so it just completely took the text out of context. Now,
it really, in hindsight, maybe we were just sensitive about it. Now that you say it, Trav, but it felt like a Rick Allen.
I will say, I saw Tim's bet last night where he was on the under, and I was like, you know what? I'm fading him. I'm going the other direction because his hockey bets have fucked us 7 ways to Sunday.
Although, let me tell you, this is what I woke up to. I went to bed a little early, and there was a whole conversation about, hey, how'd you end up on the Celtics? Like good stuff. But this is the one I loved. Make sure I get this correct. My college baseball parlay saved me. 7:24 a.m.
It did.
My response: only a real degenerate can make such a claim. I mean, that's pretty A+ right there.
Shout out to UNC, Coastal Carolina, Clemson, and Alabama, and Vandy bringing me home last night.
Vandy boys. Shout out to Vandy.
Speaking of some winners, though, from last
Let's
week.
hear him. Let's have it. Yeah.
Brent Weiss, he had Alex Bowman top 10. Cashed that puppy. Jake Simpson had Kyle Larson outright to win. That was a good one. And then we also had Troy, Adventure Couch. He had Martin Truex versus Christopher Bell in a matchup. So he cashed that one. So we had some good ones. I also think people started listening to Tim's with the cash out option.
Love that.
I got a few guys.
You didn't get the Chastain cash out, did you, Tim's?
No. Well, as soon as I sent that text, I was like, he would drop the third, and it dropped like $5, and it wasn't even worth it then. But it was nice to know stage 1 you can get it and pull the trigger on.
So
it.
Tell the fans at home. So you had a bet, and you looked at like a 50% profit. Is that a fair number? I don't,
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I bet Chastain to win, and he was up there. And I don't know if he was leading at the time, but he was running second. He was battling Larson back and forth, I think, and it was double my money cash out right now, and I was waited too long. I'm like, maybe I wait a lap. He takes the lead again. He fell back to third. That number kept going. Fourth, it kept going down. He never really got the lead back, so it never got that back up that high, and I sat on it and lost. But it was a good strategy. I'd do it again.
All right, well, listen. The track too tough to tame. Let me go ahead and tell you, boys, let me give you a little heads up on this one. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. No fluff, no bullshit, no nothing. 4 tires every pit stop, great pit stops, great pit crew, great driver, great team. It's going to take great everything to run good this week. That's just how it is. That's why we should love it. That's what Darlington's all about, and I can't wait. And for that reason, this might be the biggest Group 1 ever on the Predictor. Pretty good chance the winner's going to come out of Group 1, guys, because it's almost the entire field. If you hold on a second, you have 7 Group 1 drivers.
No.
You just can't
darker
see.
shade.
Learn your colors.
That is dark green,
right
not
there?
dark green.
2 greens.
Yeah, dark.
Okay. I hate to say they're right, but that right there is like a green and off green. I mean, it's you know what it is? It's the difference between a dollar bill and a dollar bill that's been in your pocket for a week. That's the 2 different colors of green I have over here. I mean, they are close. All right, I take back my statement.
Yeah,
Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Group 1. I apologize.
Yeah,
2-driver Group 1.
No question. And you have any disagreement with it?
No, I mean, how could you not? No, those 2 have been monster.
And here, like Denny's got 4 wins here. Larson won last time we were here. Like Larson should have won this race last year.
The books agree. 4 and 4.5 to 1, which is better than what you could have got on Larson last week. I mean, it was like the biggest crazy thing anyway. All right, Larson, Hamlin. Then we have the darker green of greens. Truex, Reddick, Elliott, Byron, Logano. Logano is the surpriser here. I know he won here a little bit a few years ago, but state your case.
For which one? I was looking.
I think okay. Let's start with the ones. I like Larson and Hamlin. I don't think anybody has to be sold that they're 1-2. You're on board with that, Tim's, right? That doesn't shock you.
No, not at all.
Truex, love it. Old wily veteran, worn out racetrack. He's going to be good. Reddick, put a little asterisk next to. Chase Elliott, William Byron, love them both here. Let's talk Reddick and Logano. I don't care which one you want to talk first.
Okay, Reddick's been top 3 in 3 of the 4 next-gen races at Darlington.
So of the 4
twice.
next-gen races, he's been top 3 in 3 of them. What happened in the one he wasn't?
Reddick was involved in that big accident towards the end of the race.
Where was
running
he?
good.
Was he up there good, though?
He was. I remember that race.
He's running pretty well.
Okay. Then talk about Logano.
Because Logano, Vegas and the Professor is where we have a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Logano's just really struggled lately, but he won the first next gen race there at Darlington. He's been top 5 in 2 of the 4 there. He's. I don't know what else you want.
I mean, the guy's good and the team's good, but it doesn't feel like the hot hand right now. And Team Penske, by the way, I'll talk about burying the news. They suspended a whole crap ton of people from their IndyCar news.
They had to do something, though, right?
I mean, I would think so, seeing as how you own the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Logano, you can get him. He's plus 2,200 if you like him. You can almost get him even money for a top 10. So that's the difference between the model and Vegas.
Yeah, I can't.
I just think it's Darlington. He can find a way. Like that's.
I do think there's some value on Fords this week, and it being more of a racer's racetrack, and not necessarily the car. I can see if you like Logano.
I can get behind this. Hold on, let's talk about this. I can get behind this because let's talk where I think Fords run good. Phoenix, St. Louis, and Darlington I know doesn't feel that way, but that entry into turn 3 is a little that way. Heavy braking more than you would think. It's not Kansas, not Texas. Like it is a mile and a third. So Tim's, I kind of, man, you might be swaying me over. I could see the argument.
Yeah, I'm not like, this is the hammer of the weekend. But,
right.
If you like a Ford, if I'm going to pick him at a track, I don't really mind picking him here. It doesn't seem like the car will be that too much of an issue if the driver's good here.
Give me some Brad K info, because I don't know.
Well, and hold on.
Just seems to be bubbling up.
That Ford stuff. Like, I know they haven't won, but they've been runner-up 6 times this year.
Oh, how about this one? You want to talk about a kick in the shorts? They've been runner-up 6 times. By 1/1000th of a second at Kansas.
Yep.
By 3/1000ths of a second at Atlanta. There's another one. Like if you take the closest 4 of the 6, it's less than a half-second total. Richmond and Talladega, I think. All 4 of them totals up to less than a half a second in 4 races. Yep. Russ, you're proud I had those stats, aren't you?
I'm impressed. So Keselowski, top 10 in the last 3 there. 6th, 4th, 7th.
And every time old C. Busher runs good, Brad's right there on his heels like, man, we got to flex a little. Like, we didn't have Busher, low grip racetrack. I don't know. Something about that Brad K experience tells me he's going to have maybe not a win. I'm with you, Timms. I'm not saying a win, but a good day.
Busher was top 10 in both races last year here.
I would say Keselowski, Logano, if you're going for the cash-out strategy, that's kind of who I'm targeting, a little bit. Like, I wouldn't go too crazy with the Fords because it just seems like one is really good, like Busher last week or Blaney for the most part of the first half of the year. But, Keselowski was the guy I liked. He's, like Professor said, he's good here. It's worn-out track, veteran driver, knows how to save his stuff. Kind of feels like a good guy to have on your side here.
So what about this strategy? Like, if we have like a Keselowski, Logano, Chastain again qualifies like on the front row, do you take them and just hope for the cash out in the first stage?
Yeah, 100%. That was why I took Chastain last week, because he'll stay up there at least with the track position game that this car is. So yeah, for 100%, that's what I would do. Kind of put 3 that you like and see which one qualifies up there and take them. Take 2 if they're up there.
Professor, do you have any stats on like if you qualify on the first row, like where you finish on the first stage or anything like that? How likely are you if you win the pole to win stage 1, Steve? What do you think?
Pretty likely here if you have a good pit crew. So let me, if Larson, Hamlin, Truex, Elliott, Byron, if any of those front runners sit on the pole, I would say they have a really, really good chance of being right up front in stage 1. Denny, I'm sure, will speed, go to the back, drive to the front, make it a really colorful show. He's going to run great, but he always seems to make it harder than it needs to at Darlington for some reason. Not even his own doing. Maybe it's a pit stop thing. Who knows? Maybe a meteor comes out and hits the right front fender and he has to pit under. Like, there's always a reason he gets behind here, and then it's so much fun to watch him recover.
Kyle Busch is another guy I was looking at because I think the last 2 races he ran well. He kind of qualified well, and so it's like that correlates with him in this car, RCR car.
I agree with that.
So back to your question, Trav. The four winners of stage 1 in the next gen car all started top 3 at Darlington.
See that little shrug? You see that little Trav shrug? Like, boom.
Jordan shrug.
I get proud when I ask a good question.
Well, I see you ruined my one pick of the weekend. You gave that information to the books.
Who's that?
Erik Jones, Mr. Darlington himself.
He's not winning. He's not finishing top 10.
Got to fade
Go
the
ahead,
back
Professor.
injury.
Tell him why he's wrong.
Okay, but this is my thought. Isn't a stat-based thought. It's his back is broken. Well, where do you think he's going to finish, Steve?
13th.
Well, it's not top 10.
I never said top 10. That was all Trav yelling.
Well, you said we ruined the bet. Like, there's no bet to finish 13th, is there?
What bet
All
did
the
we
matchups, everything. He's the favorite in all the matchups.
The f*** you talking about? He's not even in a matchup yet.
He is. You watch it. They're all gonna be ruined.
You watch.
All right, I'll take it. I bet you he finishes outside of 13. A 6-pack.
So he's won there twice, 8 top 10s there, is most at a track. So that's why Stevie's saying
Bet.
All right. Mine's not a stat. I just think you're going to return after that injury and get in the car and go out there and perform. I think it'd be awesome if he does. I just don't think he will.
I'm with you, Trav. You got to fade the back injury. If Alex Bowman's taught us anything, it's fade the back injury.
Ooh. Man,
Look at
Timms,
that.
I wish you'd have brought that up before I just lost a 6-pack.
Yeah, come on. It's been low hanging fruit.
So find me some value on the board. Let's be honest. I think this is a conversation we need to have. Find me some damn value, guys. Larson and Hamlin, no offense, and don't take this the wrong way, Professor, right? But I didn't need the predictor to know that Larson and Hamlin are going to be 1-2. And I didn't need the predictor to tell me that Truex and Reddit and Elliott, Byron, and Logano, no, I didn't have him. But Byron, I'm like, yeah, okay, no shit. We knew all these guys were going to be up top. And I'm not saying that to pick on the predictor. My point is, after 2.5 years of this car and what we've seen this year, what's the shocker, right? Like last week, Buescher, shocker. Didn't have him running that well. Super impressive. McDowell, not just a shocker, but a shocker and then a mic drop moment. So where is the shocker on this board, Professor? Give me someone who's going to run better than we think.
I think Buescher. Either like 25-1 to win or minus 105 for top 10.
Yeah, I think it's low grip. Chris Buescher, I think it's low grip. Low grip. All right, so you like Buescher as a repeat strong performance.
Can you relate Kansas and Darlington?
Yeah, a little bit, for sure. What I like more than anything is it's a track that we didn't think he was going to run at. So, they've obviously found some pace in their car overall. How about Noah Gragson? Let's talk Noah for a minute. Because I like to pick on Noah because he's young and he's full of energy and all this, but man, he's starting to tie together some pretty good little runs here.
So Tim's and I were talking about Noah today, and Tim's, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a little fearful that you were late to jump on him with the top 10s and he might be late to the party, that run might be over.
Yeah, so he's had 3 straight top 10s in a Stewart Haas car, which has not been great at top 10s this year. And I feel like it's like you're riding a run and a trend, and I was late to the party, and every time you're late to the party and you try to jump on it, man, is that the week it doesn't hit. So, listen, statistically speaking, he's plus 200. There's value on his top 10 this week for sure. So if you ride in that streak, I've seen people on Twitter have rode his top 10 streak. Just play it. Plus 200, yeah. But for me, I haven't rode it, and I'd be the jinx. I know it. I'd Rick Allen the whole bet.
I don't think you're wrong there. I will say this. When I look at longer odds, Barry, Suarez, Briscoe, Stenhouse, McDowell, Dillon, Cindric, Hocevar at 8-1 in the top 10. I know it sounds crazy, but Corey LaJoie had a monster run at Darlington maybe a year and a half ago or something, so it has happened before. And Hocevar is fast, man. That kid's got pace.
I don't mind that. John Hunter Nemechek was another one. He's 8-1. I mean, he's
Chase
a teammate.
Briscoe, you have him inside the top 20. Look, you're not gonna have anybody inside the top 10 on the predictor, and you're gonna get good odds. That ain't gonna happen. Like that's the point, right? Well, so let's talk about guys that have good top 10 odds that are farther down the predictor. I see, and help me guys if I'm missing some, but I see Chase Briscoe predicted 18th at plus 330. You're only looking at an 8-shot, an 8-spot win or move up, I mean. So look at everybody runs and we get a 36-car finishing, maybe not. But you mentioned that one big wreck that Reddick got in that one year. This is the kind of place you get stacked up on a restart or you get that wreck down in 1 and 2. There's not a lot of place to run away from a wreck. If second and third get together on a restart, you could take out 5 or 6 fast cars. Well, now that 18th predicted for Briscoe, now he's 12th or 13th. Say he's having a good day. So I see Briscoe that way. Suarez has really had an off year. Just not been good. Every time I see him, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. Right? That's when Suarez pops into every broadcast.
Not nearly the numbers, but Tim's, what's your take on Alex Bowman? I think you've been on a couple top 10s with him, right?
Yeah. So this is my take with Bowman. He's the 4th Hendrick car. Well, I say 4th because the only one hasn't won yet. But he's 35-1 to win in a season that's been dominated by JGR and HMS. And he's plus 125 for a top 10. So you're getting plus money on the 1A or 1B team, however you want to put him. And he's had success. He's had, 4 top 10s last 5 races? I mean.
Alex Bowman's going to win a race this year.
Mm-hmm.
Bet.
This is Alex's signature. We all disregard Alex Bowman. But then he shows up and he wins a race. Alex Bowman wins a race this year. Alex Bowman goes to victory lane. For just what you said, Tim's, currently statistically, this isn't a judge of talent or anything. Let's just talk statistics. He has been the 4th Hendrick car statistically. Okay, so he's still the 4th of the 8 fastest cars, Hendrick and Gibbs. He's one of them. So, yeah, Alex Bowman wins the race this year.
Hold on, Professor. Did I hear you say bet?
Yes, bet. Our Phoenix dinner. Because we know he's not going to win at Phoenix.
Well, I can tell you right now that if it happens before the dinner I already owe you, you're going to do that one and Phoenix. You're going to give me 2-1 odds on this.
No. You just said he was going to win a race. We don't need odds.
He is. I'll back Alex Bowman. I'll back Alex Bowman for a Phoenix dinner. But we're going to you know where we're going. We're getting butter cake.
Sure, we are. I'm in.
I feel like with this one, if Bowman wins, since we're not doing odds, I think at least Uno glass should be included for Steve.
Oh, I agree. It's going to be. I'm just going to have the waitress hide it underwater on the bill.
We have one bet that has already actually been played. Tim's and I played it this afternoon. We didn't want to wait and see it disappear.
Guys, you can't admit that you're pre-podcast betting. That's. If you're a subscriber right now and you don't go in their damn Twitters and rip their ass.
Don't worry, I saved another one. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to hammer as soon as I say it.
All right, so go ahead, Trav. Go ahead, tell the listeners how you screwed them and moved the line already.
Listen. My bets don't move anything. But we went and took Chase Elliott minus 110 versus Ross Chastain.
Who's minus 120.
Yes, Ross is the favorite here.
Who's the next winner?
Truex.
We know who's won this year. Who's the
Truex.
next guy to win a race this year?
Truex.
I think I agree with Professor. I feel like it's
I
a
would
matter
agree
of
too.
time. They've been right there. They were on the restart with
That's
Denny.
hard. It's hard to argue against that one.
He was easily going to win at Kansas.
So on the predictor, let's start looking at it this way: highest finisher or highest driver without a win on the predictor, Truex,
Logano.
and then Logano.
Keselowski. Oh yeah,
won.
Logano.
So I like the Truex. I like the Truex theory just for the same theory as you just said about Alex Bowman. And let's go further. As much as I like Alex Bowman, nice kid, Martin Truex Jr. Now he's a different class of his resume. It goes in a different file. Like he's a man that's a champion, a bazillion wins. So for sure. And I don't see anything that says Father Time has got him yet. Right. Well, I only say that because that's what happens to drivers, right? This isn't just a Truex conversation. It's athletes in general. I don't see anything that says Father Time has got his hooks into Truex yet. He's right up there. He's up front, running good. And Truex is not a rough driver, so I think it's very outside his characteristics to kind of push and shove. So he's not a pushing and shoving driver. I don't ever want to make it sound like that. But he's elbow up on his restarts. Like he's side drafting. He's 3-widening it. Like I actually had Truex winning on 4 tires this last week. I think if he clears the 11 and the 9, he got to run off 4 coming to the white. If he can clear them into 1 where he can open up his entry into 1 and doesn't have to drive in shallow on the bottom, I think Truex is your winner. Or if 2 guys take 4 tires and he lines up in row 4, not row 5.
So you say that Father Time's not getting him, but do you ever wonder if like he still has it though? Like he's not showing up to the competition meetings. Like
no, I'm not worried about that. He's consistent. If he had put 4 tires on that should have gone forward and ran 10th at Kansas, I'd have been like, man, what happened? But he didn't. They dropped the green. He was 4 wide and handsome going into 1 up around the wall. Like that guy. He's got the bit still. He's rolling. I like that part. How about the racing at Kansas? We kind of glossed over that. Holy smokes!
It's kind of good.
It was unbelievable.
Tim's, what's your other bet that you're ready to fire off right now for the people? So that
the people,
you know.
I mean, I'm big on Chase Elliott this week, and for the people, I'm betting Chase Elliott to win Group B over Reddick, Bell, and Chastain. He's the dog at plus 350.
Reddick,
Bell.
I tell you what, Tim's. Man, you did your homework, man. That's a good little find.
I know. According to the predictor, he's only 1 spot behind Reddick. He can nudge him out the way.
Oh, for sure. I like that.
And you think about it, plus 350 versus plus 180. If you're just looking,
yeah, head to head, huge dog.
So, Tim's, I love your bets. I know you sent out your favorites. You had William Byron and Tyler Reddick. I love William Byron, man. Willie B is in fuego. And remember, the Logano win here was a William Byron win until it wasn't, right? He had it. Now, look, I have no problem with what Logano did. That's not what I'm saying. But Logano had to move William coming to the checkered to win that race. William ran really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Reddick, I like him here, but he could be switched out for Truex very easily, in my opinion, here.
Yep. And you get I got to scroll. Hold on. Let me scroll. Truex 6-1, Reddick 750. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I like him. Your long shots, I like Chase Elliott 14-1, Kyle Busch at 15-1, Brad Cade 18-1. We've covered all 3 of them, so you're right there. Top 10s, Bubba Wallace, my man Bowman. You're thinking about Noah Gragson back on the hot streak.
I've got a question for you, Tim's. So you said that this might be a forward week, and would you think about going down and just betting top 4 driver with any of these guys?
I mean, I'm not a big top manufacturer guy, to be honest with you. I liked Keselowski without looking at the odds, but since he's the favorite, I wouldn't do it. My second pick would have been Logano or Buescher, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big top manufacturer guy, so I kind of stay away from it.
Yeah, I'm looking at trying to find a pick I love. I don't love them. Buescher, Bowman, top Chevy, maybe 14-1 for Bowman.
Yeah, for me, I almost need to see 4 digits to even give it a shot.
I mean, I'd love to try to tell you about that, but I can't get you there. I can't do it. All right, so I think that's where we're at with top 5s, top 10s. We've covered them all. Let's just jump right to what got me in trouble last week. Over and under numbers on the drivers. Chris Buescher, 13.5. Man, that feels a little disrespectful. But I will say the predictor has him at 17, so he has him as a slight over. The under's the favorite. I know this is awful to say, but I'm just going to say it anyway. You can almost bet the over every time for all these guys, and you'll probably win money. Like Ryan Blaney, let's use Ryan Blaney because his over and under is 11.5. How many top 10s is Ryan Blaney going to have this year, Professor? Probably 16. How many does he
have already, or is he going to have?
17? Like how many does he have so far out of 12 races?
Well, he's got 5 at this point, which is probably under his pace.
That's all I'm saying, Tim's, right? I'm saying if like, you know, like William Byron's over 6.5. His number is 6.5.
The problem is they don't offer it for every driver for every race, so you can't play the odds and do this every week. And
that's why they don't. You could just bet the over on everybody.
Your friend Michael McDowell, 20.5 again.
I feel like after me making such a statement last week and him mic dropping on Twitter, I think out of respect, I just have to stay off this bet today.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are going to say over again, right, Professor?
Yeah, I'd stay away from him after last week.
He's earned the right. It's a dead heat at minus 115 at 20.5.
You know, it's interesting because in the 2 races in 2022, he was top 10 in both of them, and then both races last year was 32nd and 33rd. So, like,
I want to tell you to bet the under, but I don't want to jinx the guy, so I'm just going to avoid him. He's been the topic. He proved us wrong. He mic dropped it. We're just going to let the man lie. So let's jump on it. Chris Buescher, 13.5. Blaney, 11.5. Bubba Wallace, 13.5. William Byron, 6.5. Any of those spark you?
Well, let's go back to Blaney, though. So for a top 10, Blaney is minus money, minus 120, a spot more, and he's even money. Is that worth it?
Well, what do you mean? That's bad book. Like a spot more should be worse juice.
So I'm saying, like, you should. That's
like
something.
It should be minus more with a spot more.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you shop your book. If you were going to take him for top 10, you would take him under 11.5 for even money. You know, when you look at it that way, Trav, I would say if I could get Ryan Blaney even money for top 10, I would bet it. So for that reason, under 11.5, I would say you bet it. But we've learned it's happened 5 out of 12 times. So you're kind of right there. Predictor has him 9th. I mean, everything says the line's pretty good. Imagine that, Professor, talking to the book.
You finished 9th in both races last year.
There you go. The under screaming. Screaming on the under.
I like Buescher on the under, too.
On the under? Sure, going up.
I'm going to tell you right now, Bubba Wallace is absolutely going to run under 13.5 all day long, but I don't know if he's going to finish there because this man is snake bit. Right? Like I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say it. Like, this guy, his pace is actually pretty good, but, man, you got him right at 14 on the predictor. I would bet the under just to root for the guy to get to the finish of one of these things.
Yeah, he's been good at Darlington lately, too.
Oh, he's good. Like, the guy, he doesn't. Okay, so everyone needs more speed. Let's just be honest. But when you think Bubba Wallace, I don't think, man, he needs to go faster. I'm like, man, they just need to put it all in the same bucket. Execute, get a little lucky, like all of those things, right? They all kind of add up. That's what I'm looking for, right? Like,
they need a complete game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's exactly it.
I think Byron 6.5, you just stay away from that, right?
Well, all I would tell you is, what can you get him for a top 5?
Top 5,
minus 105.
Minus 105. So I mean, it's the same.
So it's the same thing. So you could get 6 for the same number. I'm just saying, shop your books.
But would you take that though?
No,
I wouldn't. I think he's either going to win or he's going to finish 8th.
He was so I know he qualified bad. Well, hit the fence, got in the back, but he stormed into the top 15 and then flattened right out last week. How about them double top Tims, Tim? Have you been making any money on them, or have they been sucking you into losing?
I hit a three-man top 10 last week.
Really?
Yeah, a little Truex, Larson, Hamlin. Cash that. Chastain screwed me he was with Bowman. That was the Tampa Timms sweat of the week. And boy, did that sweat. And on the last restart, I think he lost that. Finished 19th. Chastain did. This week, my sweat of the week is Bowman again, but he's paired with Bubba, plus 350.
Just as we're talking about snake-bitten.
Yep. That's why it's a sweat.
No, you just said it, though. This is like the Gragson top 10 run. To make money, you got to be at the front. You can't click on Bitcoin and say, man, if I only would have bought it at $1. Like, you got to buy it and hope it goes up. Like, you can't, you got to bet it if you're going to get the front end of the curve.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on Bowman since the start, so I'll ride that till the end. I'll jump on Bubba.
Me and you both, Tampa Tim. Me and you both, my man. We are on the Bowman train.
Oh, yeah.
You want to bet dinner, too?
Huh?
Tim's want to bet dinner, too?
No, but when Bowman wins, I'm flying Tim's out just to come to the dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And guess
I'm getting
what?
2 steaks,
He's getting
baby.
2 steaks. Yep. 2 steaks.
Medium plus.
I can't wait.
Seafood tower.
Tim's, will you bet? So if you do the Bowman Bubba double, will you also bet Bowman on a single top 10 that kind of, or will you only go one way?
No, I'll bet it single. I like Bowman a lot. You got to ride the streak. And Bowman hit last week on the double. I didn't bet him single, and I'm regretting it because he was the only one that hit. So I'd probably structure it where I can cover. Plus 350's juice is nice price enough where you can structure it so you can make money if one hits and one doesn't. So I'll probably figure that out.
Now, look, you would want to say Larson Hamlin minus 230, Larson Truex minus 160, Hamlin Byron minus 150. All those sound good, but let me tell you right now, when they hit each other running 1-2 and one finishes outside the top 10, it's like the baddest beat in the world. I can't have 2 guys in the top 10 for minus money.
No, not at all. I don't even look at those. I can't.
How about win a stage in a race? This doesn't strike me as a place that you're going to win a stage in a race.
It hasn't hit the last 2 weeks, so I think I'm off of those.
Which means it's hitting this week.
Probably. But they finished like second, third. They're right there. They just can't get it done.
I do stage 1 in the race before anything.
Really?
That's the one that's happened more often than stage 2.
It's plus 240 compared to plus 190 too.
What else are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about William Byron running the Xfinity race?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. He is shocker. He is the favorite. Plus 275 to win. Minus 285 for top 5. Allgaier, Custer, Creed, or Almirola are the next.
Who do you like, Professor? I see you leaning in, glistening. Let's hear it. I mean, you lean, you come. Oh, you almost bumped the camera.
Ooh.
What I like a long shot here, like Carson Kvapil or a Taylor Gray.
Ooh.
I love Carson Kvapil top 5.
And Carson was a restart away from winning 2 weeks ago, was it?
I'm going to tell you right now, I think I was the guy that said you maybe not top 5s or this. I was totally wrong. This kid, his racecraft is through the roof. So good. I'm going to tell you what I love the most about it. That he got beat. He got beat. Ryan Truex beat him. 2 young drivers didn't run into each other. Didn't look like ran through 3 and 4. Ryan ran him up the hill like he should. Like that's as a compliment. Took a lane and a half up the hill. And Kvapil had to give it to him. Like it was refreshing to watch these 2 kids race. Super refreshing. So plus 380 top 5 is a lot of fun.
And Taylor Gray plus 500 in the
What
Gibbs
car's
car.
he in?
He's in a Gibbs car.
Oh, I would take that. I haven't seen anything out of Taylor that I hate. Why not? I mean, it is Darlington.
He's been running great in trucks too.
What's his truck record at Darlington? Because that track is a little different than most.
Also, while he's looking, what do you think about Creed versus Almirola? Creed getting plus 120. No,
Creed is really, really good at Darlington.
I mean, he's a big underdog.
Sheldon Creed is really good at Darlington.
2 truck wins there.
Who's got 2?
Creed.
I like that. I like Creed plus money against Almirola. Man, you might have found the true Tampa Tim sweater. You might have to get on that, Tampa.
I don't know.
Remember, he was going to win. He was going to win, too, except that Noah Gragson crazy move.
Tim's, but you just bet it now because we know on Saturday you won't bet it.
No, I wrote in my notes, just listen to the professor and follow it blindly. Don't ask any questions. So
pretty soon he's just going to be like, hey, Tim's, I just sent Professor my login. He's just going to put it for
I said, just whatever he says, just play it. Shut up. Don't question it.
You know what? I hate I didn't point that out, but I think Trav's onto something. Give credit where credit's due. Creed over Almirola. I think here's why, back to the numbers thing. That's a heads-up bet. Creed's a dog. I like it.
And I double-checked that number is accurate. It is live.
All right, so we like Quapple and Taylor Gray as longs. William Byron's obviously the heavy favorite. What else are we on, guys? Anybody take any Wells Fargo action? I'm going Saturday.
I'll be there.
Are you going to be there?
I'll be there.
Guess who's coming? We got a guest appearance.
Oh, who?
Legal.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, so
Mrs. Letarte.
Wait, so does that mean you have to be on your best behavior?
No, it means I have a driver.
I will be at home.
All right, Tampa Tim's. I'm going to text you.
Text me. I'll be
just got them sent to me. 3 ground tickets. I'm going to be walking around.
Oh, that's what I got. I'll be walking around.
Here's a name that I kind of like.
There's only one right answer to this, so I'm listening.
Well, I've actually got 2 names. One, Hideki Matsuyama, top 20. He's just been good to me. Plus 150, 115.
He burned me a couple weeks ago.
And then this one's either you're gonna know like early Thursday that this is gonna be a live one and good, or you're done. Harris English plus 165, top 20.
Harris English, let me tell you right now.
He played well there
last
last year.
Swagger. You see that man strut around a golf course?
He's got that visor.
Like, and he's like, I'm like, man, this guy right here, he looks like a golfer. Like, I know we got these new young golfers. No. Harris English oozes. What are you? I'm at the country club. Like, he oozes golfer.
So I think that one, it's either going to go well real fast. He's going to be like 4 under through 6, or he's off to a bad start and you're like, there goes that bet immediately.
Yeah, he's going to miss the cut by 2.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at right now. What do you got, Tim's?
I got Max Homa to win and top 20.
Like that bet.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to fire off bets when I'm there Saturday.
I do like waiting to Saturday because I like to be there in person. The odds stink, but I'm going to tell you who's going to have a monster week, and I think it's his week. I hate to even say it. But Rory's going to kill him.
It would be a big statement if he could, considering all the news that's going on right now.
So you got all the news. Let's talk about the Wells. It is a big boy golf course. Like, and here's what's happening. I mean, it is. Did you lose power today, Tim's, by the way? I mean, some crazy storms came through.
No, I didn't lose power, but it was crazy.
So here's what they're saying. So the greens are relatively new. They're going to be rock-ass hard. So, and now we're going to get rain today for sure. We got it already. Another wave tomorrow. So they're not going to soften up the greens. They're concrete. They're brand new. But it's going to soften up the fairways, which let me tell you, you better be a bomber because this place is going to be long. So if you can't, that's why I don't hate Homa because Homa moves the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Rory, though, I know he probably doesn't lead in driving distance, but can we all agree he's the best driver of the golf ball probably on tour?
When he hits it, he's the best.
Yeah.
Right. So if he can hit with his length and find fairways, Rory is going to be so tough to beat. And I know he won, but that was a team event, and I think he had a great time with old Shane. And they paid me that day. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I will tell you, I think he's ready to be like, Shane, that was fun, but let me just remind everybody, singles, back to singles events. I think Rory's going to be on a mission. Now, much like you said, Trav, how about this? If he's on the leaderboard, take him. Like if he's on the leaderboard on Saturday afternoon, but if he starts out cold, then if that putter isn't hot, we got trouble.
The thing with Rory though is you better take him now because if he gets hot, like the number's going to be
awful
so
too. I
out of
found him
control.
at like 6.5 to 8 to 1 on 3 or 4 different books. Like it's not a great.
You're talking about to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 7. I'm seeing 700 right now to win.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing though. If you're out there and he's clicking, first 6 holes and you want to bet him, that number's it's just not gonna be good. So, like for Rory, you got to bet now. Same thing with Max Homa. Those guys, they're popular too. So like everybody wants to bet those guys and have that winning ticket.
I'm probably going to bet hole in one just because I'm going to be there.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what else I'm really considering.
I've got a parlay going right now in baseball that I'm monitoring.
I don't hate Sepp Straka, top continental Europe player. Plus 400.
I love the nationality bet.
I got over 12.5 beers consumed all day.
For you?
Yeah.
I hope the over is a major favorite.
Yeah, it is heavy.
The only
favorite.
thing that might stop you is the $12 price tag or whatever they are.
Yeah, I think last year's number was about 11 or 12, and then I had to switch to the Froze.
I heard you had a man go about down, right?
Yep, on the 18th fairway.
It's going to be an Uber ride for us, to be quite honest, because I think Legal might have a Froze.
They're good. It was hot last year, too, so it was very refreshing.
Saturday, did you see the weather, buddy?
Yeah, 75 and sunny.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Couldn't wait.
What's it going to be in Darlington, Professor?
What is it?
They hit a little too close to home?
It's supposed to rain?
No.
Oh, you're just making fun that I'm in Darlington? I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's funny you're working. We're not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you is it's a great day to be a gambler. We got NASCAR heading to Darlington, all 3 series. We got a little truck prediction. The professor thinks – who's your pick, Professor?
Christian Eckes.
Eckes. Kyle Busch making his final – Christian Eckes, Kyle Busch making his final truck start of the year, his first ever start at Darlington. Then we're going to roll on to the Xfinity Series. We have William Byron as the heavy favorite. A couple youngsters we're going to be keeping an eye on in the Quapple camp and the Taylor Gray camp. And then we move to Sunday, which is heavy hitter Sunday. We got Larson, Hamlin at the top of the board. Tampa Timms loves Byron. Got a couple other he's heavy on the Bowman train. He's staying. He's a first-class ticket. He's sticking on it. Wells Fargo's in town at Charlotte. We got playoff hockey. We got playoff basketball. We have action galore. Get all your bets in, and may all your bets pay off.